Alright guys, on this episode of Car Talk with Buck, I've got a really cool place I want to show you about. It's one of my favorite places that I've ever been. This is Car City, USA in White, Georgia, and there are thousands of cars on this property, most all of them dating from 1970 down to, I believe, 1915 is what their owner just told me. So this is an amazing place. Let's go check it out.
Well, it's an old junkyard since 1931. My mother and daddy started it then, and then they, several years later down the road, they quit doing the selling the parts and started doing their store. And then in the 70s, I came in here and reopened it and sold parts for a lot of years. And then probably 10 or 12 years ago, we quit selling parts and started promoting for photos, and people would come from all over the world here, all over the United States. We believe there's 42 or 4,400. And they own like, we think, around 32 or 34 acres. And some of the cars right out back here is some my mother and daddy had, and they put in there over 77 years ago, and they're still sitting in the same spot, same pine straw, trees up 60 foot high around them, through the hoods and fenders and tops, and got some of them raised up. We believe every continent has been here sometime during the last 8 or 10 years, from every continent. Here a few years ago, son and I was talking, and we was talking about we hadn't seen anyone from around Iceland. And it wasn't but a few weeks here a guy walked in from Iceland. So now we say that every continent has been here sometime or the other. Then when I opened up, I started buying all the cars, 1972s and older, that I could find. And of course, at that time, they were more toward the contemporary cars back in the 70s. But then I never would buy over a 1972 year model. And I tried to stay all American. And we lined them up out there in like families, like General Motors line up, Chrysler line up, Ford line up, and just repeated all the way through it. What's different from most places would be the age, the longevity. Started in 1931, another, 7 years to be 100 years old, same place, same family, because that's sort of different, you know, nobody's ever moved or changed names or changed families. It started out like Lewis Auto Parts. Then at one point, I started calling it Lewis World of Parts. And then I finally got on Old Car City, USA. And that's what way it exists now.
Well, if you're a car guy like me, this may seem like a sad place or a place that would make you angry, but it's really not. It's a great place to visit. And think of it this way, if this helps. You know, if these cars weren't sitting in this junkyard, they'd probably be turned into a tin can right now, and you still wouldn't be able to enjoy them at all. So this kind of preserves them and their history and their memories. So we'll catch you on another episode of Car Talk with Buck.